Andrew salutes you. I want to thank all our subscribers, new subscribers, and channel members for your support. We have launched a new store featuring fresh designs, including dresses, t-shirts, and more, all adorned with a bride and groom logo. If you'd like to visit the store, click the link Buy Me a Coffee, and you will see the store icon scrolling down on the left side. Additionally, if you'd like to buy a coffee for our dear brother Michael, you can do so as well. Your support helps us cover costs and enables us to continue creating content. I hope this video answers all your questions. If you're not a member yet, we encourage you to join us now. You can find the link in the description and on our homepage. We publish something special for you every month. With that being said, let's dive into today's topic. When Israel was driven into exile, the prophets declared that the Shekhinah did not abandon her children. As it is written, "Wherever they went, I will be with them," Ezekiel 11:16. The sages of old said that the divine presence entered into exile with her people, bearing their sorrow, walking their path, and sharing their burdens. She was not alone, for the heavenly hosts, her ministering angels, journeyed with her, and these were called the children of her exile. The ancient texts tell us that when the Shekhinah was cast down from her place in glory, her children followed her, and their sparks were scattered among the nations. These sparks appeared at times in human form, for the messengers of heaven have walked among mortals before. Do we not read that 3 men stood by Abraham, Genesis 18:2, yet they were angels of the Most High? Raphael, in the days of Tobit, journeyed as a companion in the likeness of flesh. And in visions of old, watchers descended, clothed in the image of man. These mysteries confirm that the children of the exile can wear the garment of mortality, fulfilling their mission upon earth. But, greater still, the ancient writings speak of the Shekhinah herself, who suffers with the righteous, who is embodied in their afflictions, and who shares their exile. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. Isaiah 63:9. For the Shekhinah is not far removed. She dwells in the souls of the faithful, and at times is revealed in the form of flesh, as a mother among her children, guiding them in hidden ways. Just as the Son took on human form, born of the Virgin to be Emmanuel, God with us, Isaiah 7:14, so the daughter may walk among mortals, the bride in exile, preparing the way for her marriage in heaven. The prophets saw glimpses of this mystery. Zechariah proclaimed, "Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for behold, I come and will dwell in your midst, declares the Lord. Many nations shall join themselves to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people." Zechariah 2:10-11. And John beheld the woman clothed with the sun, travailing in labor, bringing forth children, even as the dragon raged against her. Revelation 12. This is the Shekhinah, mother and bride, gathering her children in exile, surrounded by her hosts, shining forth as the true temple of God among men. Thus, the children of the exile are not only the angels who accompany her, but also those redeemed ones who are born of her travail, scattered as sparks among the nations until the time of restoration. And when the exile ends, she will rise in glory, no longer veiled, for the bride will make herself ready, clothed in fine linen, pure and white. Revelation 19:7-8. The mystery of the children of the exile is not only about angels who followed their mother into captivity, but also about those souls chosen before the foundation of the world. Ancient texts say that when the Shekhinah descended into exile, she carried within her bosom the souls of the righteous yet to be born. These were planted like seeds in the nations, waiting for their time to awaken. Isaiah hints at this when he proclaims, "Your sons shall come from afar, and your daughters shall be carried on the hip." Isaiah 60:4. These sons and daughters are the children of the exile, destined to rise in the day of redemption. The exile was not only sorrow, but also preparation for the marriage to come. The Shekhinah, as bride and mother, gathered her companions through suffering. The marriage in heaven cannot be entered without the bridal company, for a bride is never wed alone. As John B. held in Revelation, blessed are those who are invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb, Revelation 19:9. These invited ones are none other than the adopted children, those purified through trial, who become the attendants of the heavenly bride during the marriage supper. The temple itself bears witness to this. For when Solomon built the house of the Lord, he filled it not only with gold and cedar, but with images of cherubim, palm trees, and open flowers, 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 29. These were not mere decorations, but symbols of the bride and her children, angels and redeemed souls, together forming the living sanctuary. And when the Shekhinah departed, Ezekiel saw her rise from the temple, pausing at the threshold and at the Mount of Olives, Ezekiel 10:18-19, 11:23, as if unwilling to leave her children behind. The exile of glory was never her desire, but her path of faithfulness, that she might suffer with the scattered ones until the time of gathering. In the visions of the ancients, the Shekhinah is called the mother who groans until her children are restored, the wife who longs for her husband, and the temple that cannot be filled until her presence returns. Paul echoes this mystery when he writes, "The whole creation groans together in the pains of childbirth until now," Romans 8:22. The exile of the Shekhinah is mirrored in the exile of creation itself, waiting for the unveiling of the sons and daughters of God. Thus, the children of exile are angels and souls, sparks of light in human form, and witnesses to the marriage of heaven and earth. When the Shekhinah returns, it will not be as a stranger, but as the long-lost bride, accompanied by her children, filling the temple once more with glory. And then the voice of the great multitude will resound, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people." Revelation chapter 21, verse 3. When we speak of the children of the exile, we do not only mean souls born in the generations of mankind, but also the heavenly host that chose to remain with the Shekhinah when she went forth into exile. Ancient texts describe that when the Shekhinah departed from the temple, a company of angels descended with her, unwilling to leave their queen alone in her sorrow. They were not bound by sin as mortals are, yet their love bound them in loyalty, and so they became wanderers with her, dwelling among the nations until the time of return. The prophet Daniel saw something of this mystery when he wrote of the Watcher, the Holy One who descended from heaven with authority to decree judgment, Daniel 4:13. These Watchers, guardians of divine mysteries, were not neutral beings. They carried the heart of their mother, and their work was to shield the exiles of Israel and prepare the way for redemption. In Revelation, John also sees angels ascending and descending, carrying the prayers of the saints like incense before God's throne, Revelation 8:3-4. These are the children of exile, serving as both intercessors and companions, their ministry reflecting the very ministry of the Shekhinah herself. The ancient sages taught that when the Shekhinah is in exile, she is never alone, for her angels surround her as children around their mother. They go with her into every captivity, into Babylon, into Rome, into every nation where her people have wandered. This is why Isaiah cries, "For you shall not go out in haste, and you shall not go in flight, for the Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard." Isaiah 52:12. The angels are the rear guard, the escort of the Shekhinah in her exile, ensuring that her children of flesh and spirit are never forsaken. But their mystery goes deeper still. Some traditions reveal that these angels are not only guardians, but also participants in human history. They may descend into flesh, taking on the likeness of mortals, to labor in the purposes of redemption. Scripture hints at this when it says, "Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." Hebrews 13:2. If angels may appear as men for a moment, could they not also walk as mortals through generations, incarnating again and again for the sake of the covenant? Thus, the children of exile may be found both in heaven and on earth, sometimes shining as spirits, sometimes veiled in flesh, but always serving the will of the Shekhinah. This explains why the exile is not barren, but fruitful. For every place the Shekhinah has wandered, her children, the angels, have sown seeds of faith. They whispered to prophets in visions, strengthened martyrs in the fire, and guarded the scattered remnant of Israel. Their exile has purpose, for they walk with their mother until the day she is enthroned again in Zion. And when the exile ends, the angels will be revealed not merely as messengers, but as sons and daughters of the bride, attendants of the heavenly wedding. John glimpsed this when he heard the voice of many angels crying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain," Revelation 5:12. Their worship is not distant, but familial, for they rejoice as children welcoming their mother home, preparing the holy assembly for the marriage of heaven and earth. While rabbinic sources typically describe the Shekhinah as descending in glory, later mystical traditions permit the idea that the Shekhinah can enter vessels of flesh, hinting at this when it speaks of the Shekhinah being present in the souls of the righteous. Some strands of Hasidic thought go further. The Shekhinah suffers in exile, not only spiritually, but through the suffering of the righteous, meaning she shares their human experience. Philosophers and historians of the 1800s and 1900s, the Shekhinah is in exile in the body of Israel, embodied collectively and sometimes in individuals. This opens the door for the divine to incarnate and fulfill God's will. Shekhinah incarnated in a human form, walking with her children, just as the Son was incarnated in a human body as the Christ. The mystery of the exile cannot be understood apart from the marriage that awaits at its end. For just as Eve was hidden in Adam until she was revealed, so too has the Shekhinah been hidden in God's presence, awaiting the day when she will be unveiled as the bride. The prophets foresaw this moment with trembling awe. Hosea declared, "And in that day, declares the Lord, you will call me my husband," Hosea 2:16. Isaiah proclaimed, "As the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall your God rejoice over you," Isaiah 62:5. These are not mere poetic figures. They are glimpses of the eternal covenant where the daughter of Zion is united with the son of David, heaven and earth joined in one. In ancient texts, it is said that the Shekhinah is both mother and bride. As mother, she nurtures, intercedes, and shelters her children in exile. As bride, she waits, veiled for the day of her wedding. And, as temple, she is the dwelling place of God's glory, the living sanctuary into which both angels and mortals are gathered. When John beheld the New Jerusalem descending from heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband, Revelation 21:2, he was not only seeing a city of gold and jasper, he was seeing her, the Shekhinah, the bride who is also the dwelling of God among men. The marriage ceremony of heaven is unlike any earthly feast. It is not the union of two strangers, but the reunion of what has been divided. The son and the daughter, the bridegroom and the bride, come together to reveal the fullness of the divine family. And just as no wedding is complete without witnesses, so the children of the exile, angels and mortals alike, are summoned to the marriage supper. Jesus spoke of this when he told the parable of the wise and foolish virgins, Matthew 25. The bridegroom comes at midnight, and only those with oil in their lamps may enter. But hidden in this parable is also the bride herself. For in the Aramaic tradition it is said, "The groom and the bride came. They are coming after the wedding ceremony in heaven for the adopted children." She enters with him, and together they welcome the wise into the feast. The angels, too, stand as attendants at this marriage. They have wandered with their mother in exile, and now they rejoice at her unveiling. John describes them as the voice of a great multitude, like the roar of many waters, crying out, "Let us rejoice and exult and give him the glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready." Revelation 19:6-7. The bride makes herself ready, not alone but with her children, clothed in the righteousness of the saints, who shine as her adornment. Herein lies the great reversal of exile. What was scattered is gathered, what was hidden is revealed, what was mournful becomes joy. The Shekhinah, long exiled as mother, now stands revealed as bride, and the temple of God is filled once more with glory. The adopted children, the faithful mortals, now find their place at the table of the wedding feast. For this marriage is not only of bride and groom, but of heaven and earth, spirit and flesh, angels and mankind, all reconciled in the eternal covenant of love. The Shekhinah's incarnation is one of the deepest mysteries of the exile. Many ancient texts describe her descent, not only as radiant glory filling the temple, but as a presence that can clothe itself in flesh. They speak of her being found in the souls of the righteous, suggesting that she is not bound to heaven alone, but can walk with her children even in exile. Some traditions go further and teach that her suffering is not distant, but shared. When the righteous suffer, she suffers with them. When Israel is cast down, she descends also, bearing their exile as her own. It has been said that she is in the body of Israel, carried in their collective life, their pain, and their prayers. This is not only a metaphor, but a mystery, that the Shekhinah, the hidden bride, bears the exile not from afar, but from within, just as a mother bears her child. This mystery opens the door to her incarnation in human form, walking alongside her children in time and space. Just as the Son was incarnated, so too the Shekhinah may be clothed in flesh, manifesting as the daughter of Zion, the mother and the bride, the living temple of God. Isaiah foresaw this when he cried, "Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion! Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem! Behold, your king comes to you." Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. Hidden in these words is a mirror truth. The daughter herself also comes, bearing the presence of the bridegroom within her. This is not to confuse her with the Antichrist, who exalts himself and seizes what is not his. The supreme Shekhinah does not take, she gives. She does not demand worship, she prepares her daughter for the wedding. Her incarnation is not rebellion, but restoration, not desecration, but consecration. As the temple of God is prepared for the last days, her appearance is the sign that the sanctuary will not remain empty, for the glory has returned to dwell among her children once more. The scriptures may not use the word incarnation for the Shekhinah, yet the hints are there, waiting to be uncovered by those with eyes to see. Isaiah proclaimed, "Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." Isaiah 7:14. If the Son of God could be born of a woman, clothed in flesh, why should it be unthinkable that the daughter could also appear in flesh when the appointed time has come? The same God who revealed his word through the Son can reveal his glory through the bride. Zechariah, speaking to the remnant of Israel, recorded the voice of the Lord saying, "Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for behold, I come and will dwell in your midst, declares the Lord. And many nations shall join themselves to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people." Zechariah 2:10-11. This is not a hidden presence alone, but a dwelling in the midst of Zion, a manifestation visible enough to cause nations to be gathered into a covenant. The promise of God dwelling among his people points to the return of the Shekhinah, the bride who makes the sanctuary complete. And John's vision in Revelation confirms this mystery. He saw the woman clothed with the sun, crowned with 12 stars, laboring to give birth in the wilderness, as described in Revelation 12. She is both mother and bride, both temple and daughter. Her adopted children are the saints who overcome by the blood of the Lamb. The bride company is the children of the exile who can recognize their mother. In her travail, we see not defeat, but the promise of a holy family being revealed on earth as it is in heaven. Through these images, the pattern is unmistakable. The son and the daughter mirror one another. He as the Word made flesh, she as the glory made flesh. His incarnation was for redemption. Her appearing is for restoration. He came to open the way. She comes to gather the children. Together they complete the mystery of God, hidden from the ages but revealed in these last days. From the beginning, the wedding of heaven and earth was never merely symbolic. The marriage ceremony in heaven, described in the visions of John and in ancient texts, reveals a union that encompasses both the son and the daughter, the bridegroom and the bride, the temple and the glory within it. Revelation 19:7-9 declares, "Let us rejoice and exult and give him the glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. Blessed are those who are invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb." The bride is not abstract. She is the Shekhinah, the hidden glory, now revealed, clothed in purity and light, gathering the faithful to her. Her children, the angels of the exile, accompany her, for they too bear the memory of heaven. Ancient texts tell us that these angels were sent forth to watch over creation, to labor in patience while the glory remained absent, and some may even enter human form to fulfill divine assignments. In Revelation 12, the woman gives birth amid cosmic conflict, yet her offspring are protected, reflecting the divine order. She brings forth life even in exile, even under persecution. The Shekhinah herself is the temple, for as Psalm 132 verses 13-14 says, "For the Lord has chosen Zion, he has desired it for his dwelling place. This is my resting place forever. Here I will dwell, for I have desired it." The temple is not merely a building, it is her presence, her body glorified, her spirit manifest. From Exodus 40 to 1 Kings 8, the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle and temple. That glory, exiled through centuries, returns as Shekhinah, not to dominate but to gather, not to destroy but to sanctify. In this final gathering, the bride prepares the saints. She adorns them with garments of righteousness. She calls the children of Israel to recognize the fullness of God, male and female, son and daughter, bridegroom and bride. She is both mother and wife, guiding, comforting, and revealing the divine mysteries to those with ears to hear and eyes to see. Just as Adam's fall introduced exile, the Shekhinah's return initiates restoration. Ezekiel 37 verses 15-28 foretells the joining of Judah and Israel, two sticks united, a prophecy that finds its living fulfillment in the union of the son and the daughter among the remnant. Her ministry is therefore both cosmic and intimate. The marriage ceremony in heaven is mirrored on earth in the preparation of the saints. She calls forth the bride company, gathers the faithful, and restores the sanctuary not made with hands, that temple of Eden which has been hidden in mystery. She brings life where death lingered, light where darkness prevailed, and the promise of eternal union where exile once reigned. The Antichrist may attempt imitation, may seize power, may claim authority, but he cannot create love, he cannot awaken purity, he cannot bring forth the unity of bride and bridegroom. Only the Shekhinah can do this, for she is the spirit, the bride, the temple, and the mother, the fullness of God revealed in glory. Her return signals not destruction, but the ultimate restoration of heaven and earth, the unveiling of the divine family, and the fulfillment of God's ancient promises. We have successfully concluded this study, and we sincerely appreciate your participation. If you found these teachings beneficial, please consider sharing them to help others in need. Your likes and comments mean a lot to us, and they help us grow our community. A warm welcome to our new subscribers. You're now part of our family. Stay tuned for our next video. It's going to be truly captivating.